How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Back the Box Disc Golf. My name is Cole. Thank you so much for watching today's video. It's been a few weeks. I've been really busy with work, but here I am with a video for you today. And I'd like to talk about what I consider to be the next money run Discmania disc. And that disc is the first run 3-tool FD2. Before we get into why I think that is, let's talk about the history of the FD2. So the FD2 came about as an attempted replication of the second run Discmania FD. And that run is flatter than normal, very stable compared to other runs of FD, the first run and every run subsequently. So they tried to recreate this a few years ago, and this is what they came up with. This is a C-line FD2, the first tooling, and it didn't do what they wanted. It's just a glideless FD. It's not too stable. I don't really throw this one, but it's a cool collection piece for sure. So with an effort to make it more overstable, they created the second tooling of FD2. So this is that second tool FD2. This one has a little bit more dome, and it has a more pronounced sort of rim right here, almost like a T-Bird, a Firebird, or a Thunderbird have. And this disc came out very overstable. It's basically like a 7-speed Firebird. It dumps very hard at the end, and I cannot get turn on this unless I really chop at it, which I don't want to do. So I have two of this second tool. This is one of the prototypes in S-line plastic. And then this is from the Kona Piste Open. This is a shimmer S-line FD2, and this one is also very stable. So it seems like they overcorrected on the FD2. So they tried again. So now they have what's called the third tool, or the 3-tool FD2. And this is the first run 3-tool FD2. It came out really flat, and it came out just right, in my opinion. This run specifically. So this run feels so great for forehand just because it's, FD size rim, so 7-speed rim. It's a pretty shallow disc. It came out flat, and its flight is, for forehand for me, straight with fade. So it's very shapeable in either direction. And for backhand, I cannot get a ton of turn out of it, but it might flip up a little bit and then fade pretty hard. So it is a super reliable run of disc. And the next thing I want to talk about is the grip and the tack and sort of the chalkiness of this plastic. It is some of the most grippiest C-line plastic I think I've ever felt. It's really sublime. Now, there are other runs of the 3-tool FD2. So there's one called the Royal Rage, which is a Color Glow FD2, and it came out pretty similar to this first run. I would say that this is a little less stable than this one, at least in my opinion. And then the more recent runs from last year are these C-lines, and this C-line came out a little less flat than the first runs, and the plastic is not quite as grippy, but it's pretty close. Now, why do I think this disc specifically is the next money run? Well, it doesn't fly like the other runs in the third tool. It's close, but this one is the best. It feels the best. It flies the most consistently for me. Now, the funny thing about this first run FD2 is when they came out, they didn't get thrown that much. They were kind of slept on a little bit. People were really into the Royal Rage because it glowed, but I've been throwing this FD2 for about a year and a half, and it's super consistent. The flight hasn't changed at all, but now Mcmahon throws it, and he put it in his bag last year, but he's starting to have more and more shots with his FD2, and you can hear him talk about it here on his In the Bag video.
This has been my go-to fairway driver. Put it in the bag kind of early last year, was throwing it a bunch in the woods, and it kind of, it filled a slot in the bag that I was really needing to be filled. I'm throwing it on hyzer flips that go flat, drift to the right. It's one of the most workable fairway drivers I've found. It's pretty flat, which is a trait I look for when throwing more control style shots, because I feel like it releases out of my hand a lot cleaner. And since it's flat and very, very symmetrical, forehands are a dream with this disc. Really good disc to learn forehand with because it's very workable. comes out of the hand very, very clean.
And the collector's market and the thrower's market has reflected this. I would give it what I would call an eagle bump, where the value is now approaching collector discs. It's not quite at Glow MD3, but we're talking about 60, 70 bucks for one of these new, which is wild considering I got this one for about $17. Now you might be asking me, Cole, why would I throw a $70 disc? And the answer I have for you is, I don't know, maybe you want to. I'm not going to tell you how to live your life. I just know that I've had these for a long time and they work really, really well. My suggestion for getting one of these would be try to get it in a trade, but if you can't find one of these, your next best bet is going to be one of these C-Line recent run FD2s with a Discmania original stamp on it. They are going to be embossed C-Line FD, and it'll say 175 for the weight. So you know that was made about a year ago before Innova switched to the 173 to 175 weight tooling. That is my video on the Discmania FD2. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you're able, these are really, really cool, and I think they're gonna keep going up in value, and they're gonna be one of those Discmania discs that are collectible and very sought after for a long time. Be good to each other, play some disc golf. I have a tournament coming up this weekend. I'm very excited for it. Bye-bye.